Pilin sa akin.
Ako naman feedback, yun lang. Yung feedback form na link.
Sige, ako na lang yan. Tapos yung mga spotlighting, pag na-miss mo yun, ako din. Wait lang, huwag mo munang yan ah. I-accept.
Nasa small room ako.
Okay, nasa si ano?
Nandun sa boardroom. Kasi naririnig ko sa speaker.
Okay,
Masyado
no problem.
magkalapit kasi.
No problem. Sige. Ayan, next naman, prepared na prepared. Ang ganda naman yan.
Maaga ako
Okay.
nag-lunch para dito.
Hindi ka nag-lunch? Naku, ay,
Kasi
naku, hindi pwede.
maaga. Mga 11:45 pala yata nagla-lunch na ako.
Okay. So, ano yung pinaka-final webinar deck? Itong final webinar, Migration, Modernization na deck? Okay. Sige, na-open ko lang just in case para may backup and all. Sige. Okay. Tapos, yung link lang, sige. Pwede ba bigyan ng editing ng link? Kasi link lang na binigay mo sa akin para sana mag-create ko ng short link.
Sa ano?
Oo.
Feedback. Sige.
Di ba habang link yung nabigay mo sa akin? Ayan. Okay naman si Jason mag-present. Kasi last time parang hindi eh. Hindi ako
Okay
naka-comment.
naman siya.
Sana okay na ha, kasi medyo ano siya nakaraan eh.
Ito yung sa ano, yung collaboration link.
Sige, I'll double check. Jason, huwag mo muna i-admit yung nasa lobby ha.
Okay.
Baka mapindot mo lang. Kasi last time hindi kami parang hindi kami makapagsalita ni May kasi nga may tao na sa Ayan. So, ano ba? Okay, so mga 150, i-on mo na yung tapos magpapatugtog ka na.
Uy.
Or 155. 155 me.
155 na, sige.
Sige,
Mag-beatbox
para
na
at
lang.
least okay. Meron na ako nung link nung May, ay, tama ba? Wala kang call to action. Tinitingnan ko yung host deck ha.
Na kay Jason yung CTAs.
Sa dulo, hindi ka na magsasabi.
Si Jason na.
Jason, ikaw na yun lahat?
Yung alin?
Yung
Next
lahat ng
steps.
call to action?
Yeah.
Make it enticing para mag-sign up talaga sila kahit pipito. Sino man yung pipito sa atin sa Philippines? Hold on.
9 na nga eh.
9 pala, sorry.
Hindi ko alam sasabihin ko dun eh.
Account siya. Hi, Rachel.
Okay. Hey, Rachel.
Hi everyone.
Oh. Alwin 2, isa pala anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna make presenter si Akash. Wait, hold on ha. Okay. Okay. Yep. That you're able to present your slide. Okay.
Akansha, is it Garg or Garg? How do you pronounce your surname?
Akansha Gug.
Akansha Gug. Okay.
Akansha Gug. Okay.
Thank you.
Is the share button available to you, Akansha?
Yes,
Okay,
it
good.
is.
Question, sorry.
Mm.
If we're not speaking, can we turn off the camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so May will start it in on cam, and then once you have to be on standby, Jason, because you're the first one who will be presenting the company profile, right?
Yes.
So when May do the introduction of speakers, please turn on your camera, okay? And then, yep, she's gonna pass on the floor to you guys. And I will be the one to spotlight you. Okay? And I will be the one to also do the screenshots for for documentation purposes, because we're gonna post it also on our social media. All right, so we have one attendee waiting on the lobby. We will just accept her at 1:55 because May will gonna show her cover slide with the music. Okay, May, can you try please share your screen with the audio?
Okay, hold on.
Alvin is from the Philippines,
Yes.
one of our clients.
Okay, hold on. Don't. Okay, who's this? Okay, it's from Vietnam. Don't accept. Okay. May, is it okay for you to present in Teams or just share with audio? Because there's audio, no? If you present in
Yes.
Teams, there's no audio. Okay, copy. Yeah, can you presenter in presenters mode, please? And then,
Can everyone
okay.
hear?
Yes, we can. All right,
Okay.
thank you. And then, okay, copy. What else? What's the other reminder? For the hold on. So after the presentation, Jason, you will be the one to present the call to action or the next steps, right? Or is it included on your company profile? It shouldn't be, no? You're on mute, sorry.
Nope. I think after my last slide, I'm gonna turn it over to May, and then
Okay.
yeah, she's
May, can
going
you check
to.
this the slide of Jason? Sorry.
Yeah,
The call to action is not there, right? It's not part of it.
On my slide, it's part.
it's part.
Oh,
But he will stop at the AWS services, cloud
Yeah.
services
Yep.
slide.
okay. So my suggestion would be after the talk of Yogesh, is it right? Did I pronounce it correctly? Um, please have the next steps again, me, before you proceed to the survey. Up to you if it's still Jason or you, May. But I'd rather go with you, May, since you will be the one closing the event webinar. Are you
Okay.
good with that? Okay, yeah, just to reiterate what Jason discussed earlier, here are the next steps to get you started or to get the ball rolling for you guys. So these are the offerings, blah blah blah, etc. So you just mentioned what Jason mentioned on his slides. You can duplicate the slides of Jason from to your after your guest, and then I think right after the Q&A session, if there would be no Q&A, sorry, questions, then you can proceed with the next steps. Yeah.
Okay.
I think, oh yeah, last 2 minutes. Any more question? Where's your guest? He should be here, right? And
Yes.
Mega.
Mango.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Let me just request a join. Anyway, can you go down again, me? I hope those intros of your speakers are already ready.
Yes.
Okay.
William. Then a feedback form. And then
Yeah.
I
You're
put music on
Hello,
both slides.
yeah, you're still
Just to
showing
be
the
sure.
I know
Karen May.
the yep.
Just to be clear, I'll remove the next step slides on my part, right? I'm gonna turn it
Yes,
over to May.
please.
Okay.
Mm-mm. It should be on the last part. So, or yeah, if it's included on your spiel, then you can then you can discuss. But it's gonna be on last part, Sana Jason, for them to at least have a recall because I believe it's also included on the survey form,
Okay.
right? It's just a one-on-one appointment, AWS migration and application modernization, Jason, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna accept Mega and make her a presenter as well. Okay, I think we can be on mute, everyone. You can turn off your camera rather, Jason. Then Maylene, please stand by. So
Mhm.
presenters mode and then turn on the sound and we will accept Miss Alwin. from the PH team. Okay,
Okay, I'll
and
just
there's these
share
two.
this.
Yeah, it's not. It's your
It,
screen is not moving.
it's Sir Alvin, huh? Sir Alvin.
Sir Alvin, sorry, it's not
How
move.
about
I
now?
mean, no, it's not on the presenter's mode. It's still on your slide. I can see the whole slide. I mean, the yeah,
Oh,
make it
the
slideshow.
is that on slideshow mode now?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
all good. And then you can turn on the sound, and I'll accept the tree waiting in the lobby. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. I'll go on mute. Thanks.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning to other locations. Welcome to our virtual webinar today entitled Revolutionize Your Operations with Amazon Web Services Migration and Modernization. My name is Maylene Stephanie. I'm the marketing executive at Noventic Philippines, and I will be your host for today's session. Now, we have prepared a very insightful discussion on AWS capabilities that we can't wait to share with each and every one of you. But first, allow me to share some housekeeping notes for today's session. So, first, we are recommending the attendees to join with the listen only mode to enable the speakers to present without any interruption during the presentation. After the presentation, you may unmute yourselves to raise your questions during the Q&A session. However, if you have questions throughout the session, you may raise it through the chat widget on MS Teams by clicking the button at the top right of MS Teams. Lastly, kindly note that this session will be recorded. It's offered to the attendees after the webinar. All right, now that we've got our housekeeping notes covered, let us welcome our first speaker for today. He is Noventic Philippines Business Development Manager for Amazon Web Services, and he will be introducing who Noventic is and what are our AWS expertise. Please give a virtual applause to Mr. John Garcia. Hi, John.
Good day, everyone. And Chuk Ngai Tot Lan. I don't know if pronounce it properly to all our Vietnam friends there, but good day and to everyone who's attending the webinar today. Should I start, May?
Yes, John.
Okay,
You may take over the screen.
sure. I hope everyone can see my screen. Just give me a thumbs up or a like button if everyone can see it. Audio is okay also?
Yes, John, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Thank you, May. So I guess we can start. Um, so I'm going to give a brief background on who's Noventic, and it's when it comes to AWS environment, who we are as a AWS premier consulting partner of AWS. Let me start by giving you a few little numbers on who is Noventic. So we are a leader in digital transformation and cybersecurity. Right now, we have 100 plus vendor relationship globally doing digital transformation. And we are present in 60 countries worldwide, but our headquarters is based in London. And we have an IT experience of almost 3 decades now. And we have 11 24 by 7 delivery centers located um, in the cities near you. And we have, last year, we have a gross revenue of 1.6 billion. And we are expanding actually. We have 6,400 plus employees, still increasing. And during the last 10 years, actually, we've been acquiring companies to help us grow and create solutions for our customers when it comes to digital transformation and cybersecurity. So one of the companies that we have acquired actually is Umbrella InfoCare. So Umbrella InfoCare is already a premier consulting partner, and we have acquired them last February last year. And so we've been doing collaborations already with them, and based in India, and but they can handle global clients as well. So this is our AWS Center of Excellence. So we have 10 plus years of cloud journey. And right now, we have 200 plus employees focusing on delivering solutions and services for AWS. We have 200 plus technical certifications ranging from foundational to associate to professional and specialty certifications. We have 300 plus customers doing 500 plus cloud projects. as well. And we are present and able to provide solutions for 15 plus industries. And we won Partner of the Year last year for data and analytics, and we got a high score of 98% for our customer satisfaction survey. Okay. And we'd like to announce actually that we have a global strategic collaboration with AWS. So this SCA or Strategic Collaboration Agreement helps build relationship with AWS, uh, focusing on supporting customers to for migration or modernizing their IT workloads on the cloud. And Noventic and AWS promises to further invest and expand our capabilities when it comes to center of excellence to create local centers across the APAC region. Okay, and now I'll go directly to our AWS cloud services. So yeah, we can do cloud native app development, which will be um, properly discussed by Yogesh later on. This is part of our webinar. But just to give you a quick background, so we can do cloud native app development. We can develop a web app for you or a mobile app, may it be on iOS or Android, or even we can modernize your existing application by tweaking some features or upgrading the versions as long as it's hosted in AWS. And then we can provide you big data and analytics as well. So we can create data lakes, warehouses. We can do predictive analytics for you with real-time analytics, of course, and data visualizations. And then we can automate your DevOps, by providing you with continuous integration and continuous delivery, by doing infrastructure as a code or IaaC, and doing container services as well. And then also, we can provide services for cloud security. We can use all the AWS native security, or you can bring your own licenses. So we are a partner of major providers for security, the likes of Palo Alto, Fortinet, Sophos, Checkpoint, and so forth. So it can be integrated with AWS, and yeah, we can do assessment, implementation, and automate actually, and do the operations for your security in the cloud. And then, of course, cloud migration, which is Akanksha will be doing a webinar also later on. So, yeah, we can do the cloud migration and, of course, especially managed service. We can do all the support for you for your cloud, AWS cloud environment. We have technical support. We have 24 by 7 technical support, and it's actually available in 8 languages, so we can do that for you. We have real-time monitoring as well as managing your cybersecurity or your cloud security also. So that's it. That's the brief background for Noventic when it comes to the AWS environment. Back to you, May.
Thank you, John, for that interesting overview to our company. Now, before I move on, let me just reshare my screen. All right. So now for the meat of our session this afternoon or today, we will be hearing from two of our AWS experts at Umbrella InfoCare, a Noventic company. So our next speaker for today is Umbrella InfoCare's AWS Global Business Manager for Migration. She has over 13 years of experience in AWS cloud migration and excels in client relationships, consulting, and cloud-based server solutions across a diverse sector, including real estate, manufacturing, renewable energy, and the financial institutions. Everyone, please welcome Akanksha Garg. Hi, Akanksha.
Hi everyone. We appreciate you coming and being here with us today. I'll just present my screen.
Yes, go ahead.
I hope it's visible.
Yes, Akanksha, we can see it.
You can
Yeah.
see it, Akansha.
So to start with, why migrations? Why migrate on AWS? As per our experience, we have seen the most prevalent issues that business encounter is scaling of the infrastructure. It is difficult to auto scale the resources in an on premise environment in response to the rising demand. To ensure business continuity and faster reach to the market, organization needs resources with speed and performance on a click of a button. The scale of expansion and innovation turns around to be an expensive option. These business needs a cost optimized model along with the expansions. Another concern and compelling reason to move to the workloads on cloud is to have a secure environment that follows all the standard security norms and certificates. Therefore, migration to AWS helps you to accelerate your journey to build new capabilities with the proven methodologies and secure approach, driven as per your business needs. We went back and analyzed what are the key drivers. Most of our customers who migrate and modernize, many of them think about going global, quickly having a similar global fitment. Therefore, need an environment that is scalable, flexible, and secure. Some customers have big focus on next generation technologies like IoT, MI, ML. Applications are the foundations that enable organizations to run their day-to-day business with the global digital transformation and increased demand of digitization. Speed and performance within the budget is challenging. Therefore, modernization play a major role here. There can be multiple flavors of modernization, like converting a monolithic application to a containerized using the microservices, Dockers, Kubernetes, or by converting database to managed databases services to improve on the staff productivity, or simply by analyzing if they can move out of the commercial license model, resulting in reducing license costs to improve the overall ROI. A well-designed foundation is extremely important for anything that has to stand the test of the time. It can be for building a house, bringing up a child, or setting up a cloud formation. A well-planned and designed cloud foundation enables enterprise to take a full advantage of cloud and drive their digital transformation journey. It provides structure, security, and governance, and efficient resource management. We at Noventic have been following AWS Well Architect Review model as a foundation framework for all our cloud migrations and modernization designs. Further, we also work very closely with multiple of our teams and guide them while they are architecting their applications, networks, and security for their cloud transformation initiatives. For our migrations, we use a time-tested structure approach. It is literally a three-phase clear milestone focused project: assess, mobilize, migrate, and modernize. The first phase is what we call assess phase. We will spend a good amount of time today on this phase, as well as this is a phase where we should invest our time as it's a building the foundation of our project. This is where Noventic experts work with you and understand that and discover your business applications, your IT infrastructure. It is not just about servers. Mostly it is interpreted as just comparing the on-prem server cost with AWS, but it is much, much more than that. We have to take into consideration your people, licensing, facility cost, networking cost, storage cost, and many more things. It's about briefing and workshops and do all the different types of assessments. One of the such workshop is known as Migration Readiness Assessment as MRA. So this is a survey. In MRA, we engage with you, your team, and your experts that help us to build a plan that can align on and across all the different dimensions like people, governance, security, and platform operations. Once we do this readiness assessment, we get an objective score that you can call your organization score, health score, that helps you to understand what it will take to actually do a transformation. So there are multiple aspects as well that needs to be taken into considerations to understand your total cost of analysis report. It helps you to understand the business case for your transformation. It helps you to highlight what are the main business drivers, what does the return looks like, what are the right goals, what are the outcomes that are driving towards the transformation. So you get a very good sense of your organization readiness, a sense of different types of costs that would occur that you are having and will have going forward. This helps you to group your applications together and do the wave planning to kickstart the migration. Moving ahead to our next phase, that is mobilize. It's all about building early muscles, learning by doing. If you remember, in my cloud transformation section, I mentioned that you build the foundation and the momentum. In mobilize stage, we work with you to build the detailed plan. We further detail out the SS phase plan with discovery and planning of your important workloads. We use many different tools. We create a foundation landing zone. So you have that sort of security and compliance posture built out. You have a strong operating model built out that includes security. And you also have a sense of how you are going to leverage your skills and your center of excellence if you plan to do so. We define organization structures, do certain POCs to check the fitment of your applications in the new environment, and map it to the 7 hours of the migration strategy. Rehost, replatform, repurchase, refactor. Rehost is simple where we do the lift and shift of your workloads. Replatform, where we change the platform of your applications. For example, we move them from the Windows base to the Linux base. That helps in saving the cost and the performance, better performance. We can migrate your databases to the managed databases, or you can simply repurchase the applications. For example, you're using a older version of the applications, or for example, you're using Oracle EBS, or you're using SAP ECC or on-prem, and you move them to the SaaS model. You move to Oracle Fusion or you move to SAP on Rise. So you can simply repurchase the applications or refactor them. In refactor, we need to do some tweaking on the architecture level. We make truly cloud native by using purpose-built databases like Amazon, Aurora, DynamoDB, and other factors. Or even we retain few applications or just simply relocate them. The basic idea is to establish the prerequisites for your cloud migrations. We typically do a sample migration of 1 to 2 applications within the migration experience phase with the lift and shift approach. The common tasks we see here are creation of the migration plan, refitment of your infrastructure design, and get into the lower decision making, like deciding on the technologies to be used, how exactly your structure on AWS versus AWS accounts versus your VPCs, your security groups, what are the journal pattern you are going to use. We are also here to help you make sure we are addressing any gaps in your organization readiness that were uncovered during our MRA sessions. Mobilize phase is to backfill all those. During this process, we have got your design, your plan. We also go and build your baseline environment. The other things that we do is to drive the operational readiness. Typically, customers have two choices here. Either you can train your people or can work with the partners like Noventic. who can achieve operational excellence for you. But the goal is to setting up a long-term success. Then finally, migrate and modernize. It's all about repeat, rinse, and skill for all your different applications. We repeat the procedures that we do in the mobilize phase. So you operate it, you constantly optimize it, and then you modernize your critical business applications. We will talk about this in detail with Yogesh in the further slides. So as a snapshot by now, you understand how you can know your cost, your business case. You actually start learning and have built that early muscle, and then you repeat and finally modernize. So what's the secret sauce here? AWS and its partner ecosystem enables you with the multiple tools, their center of excellence team, automated processes, and the right resource and support that helps you to address the key blockers, and that makes it a big thing. With this, would like to end up with a quick quiz. May, over to you. You can present it over the poll, please.
All right, I've launched the poll on Hansha. So for everyone who is in the hall, kindly let us know your answers by clicking on the options provided on the poll. All right, Akansha, for the question, how would you like to migrate and modernize? We are receiving 60% of attendees who would like to migrate and modernize by rehosting application on AWS without modifying codes. We have 38%, or rather 33% for refactoring application by re-architecting for AWS cloud. And 9% of the attendees today would like to rebuild application by fresh development on AWS. And the poll is still live, everyone. So feel free to submit your responses if you haven't yet submitted.
Another few seconds, then we'll move forward.
Yeah, Hamsha, I think we're settling with 50% on rehost application on AWS without modifying code, 25% for refactor application by re-architecting for AWS cloud, and 17% for rebuild application by fresh development on AWS.
So I'll stop presenting now. May, you can take over.
All right. Thank you, Ahansha, for that insightful discussion on migrating to the cloud. Okay, now before we move forward, we've seen that a lot of people have joined in the middle of the session. Before we continue to our next speaker, may we have a quick roll call for all the countries present in today's session. So can we give a hands up or raise hands for attendees from the Philippines? Me guilty. I'm guilty for the Philippines. All right. How about, do you have any attendees from Vietnam? I see majority of our attendees here are from Vietnam. And do you have attendees from Malaysia? Anybody here from Malaysia? Oh, we got a couple of hands up. Good day to everyone. And do we also have attendees from Cambodia? Are you guys here with us in today's session? All right. Okay, so before we move on, let me just reshare my screen. All right. So coming from a conscious discussion on migrating to the cloud, now that we've migrated to the cloud, the AWS way, our natural next step is to, of course, modernize our cloud applications. So, who better to ask or discuss this topic rather than Umbrella Info Care's technical head of modernization, who brings more than 20 years of experience as a certified AWS solutions architect and practitioner with credentials in Migration Ambassador Foundations, Generative AI, and AWS partner sales. His expertise spans cloud native application development, cloud application development with open source and Microsoft technologies within diverse within diverse domains including telecom, pharma, e-commerce, logistics, and defense. Please give a virtual applause to Mr. Yogesh Sharma. Hi, Yogesh.
Hi, Milane. Thank you. Thank you for nice introduction. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar. Right. So I believe I am audible, right? I am just sharing my screen. Just let me know once you can see my screen.
We can hear you loud and clear, Yogesh.
We can also see
Great.
you too now, Yogesh.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for confirming, John, Milane. Thanks, Akanksha, for discussing to discuss this migration topic, right? Really interesting topic, right? And when we talk about the migration, immediately the second term which comes into the picture is the modernization, right? And I believe that everyone will believe that modernization is a buzzword nowadays, isn't it? So, but this term modernization, right, evokes a wide variety of definition, right? It is not just about migrating your application from on-premise to the cloud, right? Yes, it is one of the step of the modernization, and obviously the first step of the modernization. But modernization is a continuous journey, right? Where you upgrade your underlying application infrastructure, you host your applications to more automated and managed platforms like containers. You completely automate your code release pipeline or processes. You break your monolith applications and refactor them to the microservice architecture-based application. You use purpose-built database like NoSQL database, graph database, right? Time stream database, document database based upon the specific requirement rather than using the traditional relational database management system for all purposes, right? And another step is right to remove the dependency from the licensing products like the Windows or the Oracle or the Microsoft SQL Server, right? So all these comes under the modernization piece, right? So this is about the basic things, basic summary of the modernization, right? When we interact with our customer, right, then come across multiple questions like why should I modernize at all, right? Once you understand the modernization, then immediately this is the next question which comes into the mind: why should I modernize at all, right? If I need to modernize, how should I start my modernization journey, right? How can I lower my TCO? How can I scale up my applications, or how can I remove my dependency from the how can I remove my dependence? I think there is some question, Marine, right? I think we can answer it later on, right? Okay, so how we can remove the dependency from the licensing, right? So all these questions comes into the mind, right? But the very important question is why should one modernize at all, right? You everyone understand that applications are something which is the foundations to run day-to-day business of any organization. But due to the digital transformation, IT owners are expecting that their application portfolio will get increased by more than 50% in next 2 years. And why it will happen? Because businesses need more and more applications to support newer user experience and services. right? So that's why new applications are required, right? So that is a very, very critical case. If we will look into, right, how the leading organization like Flexra state in their cloud report that 91% of the organization are expecting that their cloud usage will uh, increase more than they have planned for it. While in last years, around 20 to 25% of the global IT spend was in the cloud. So these are the things, right, which inspires anyone to modernize their existing applications and to take advantage of the cloud effectively. Once customer understand about why he should modernize the application, then the next question is how to start this modernization journey, right? So we recommend three-stage modernization journey, having stages like assess, mobilize, and modernize. So obviously, assess is the beginning of the modernization journey, but this is the stage which sets the foundations to well-planned modernized project execution. During assess phase, we help our customer to discover technical and business drivers, to identify the applications for modernization. We also help to evaluate the overall organization readiness for modernization and help them to create the business plan for modernization. From assess phase, we progress towards the mobilize phase. Mobilize phase basically helps in building the capability to run modernized solution in cloud. In mobilize phase, the focus remains upon developing the landing zone, designing the architecture, prepare the organizational capability and the cloud skills, helps organizations to have a detailed plan for the modernization and to prepare them the compulsive business case for modernization, which is very, very critical thing, right? See, mobilize phase prepares you to the modernize phase, right? Where you can run large scale modernization and cloud operations. In modernization phase, individual application get treated differently, right? As Akansha mentioned when she was talking about the 7 Rs, right? That application, depending upon the nature, right, get treated. So say application which is not required at all can be retired, while the application which can be used as is or there is no such advantage to modernize this legacy application can be retained, right? While there may be some application which can be transferred using the SaaS application or the COTS software, those applications comes under the repurchase category. In modernization, the major focus remain on the rehost, relocate. Those are the categories where applications can be hosted on the virtual machines or the cloud instance. But here, customer need to manage them himself, right? Re-platform is the critical phase of the modernization when we talk about to host the applications to the managed or the automated platforms like the container. And finally, the last phase, right, is the refactor where there may be the application which can be re-architect or rewrite completely to take advantage of the modern architecture and cloud. So those applications comes under the refactor category, right? So that's way you can see that there are the different mechanism to handle different applications based upon specific applications and the cloud organizations, right? Now, when you run, right, the modernization and you cannot modernize your all application at all. So you need to modernize application one by one, or you can define applications to be modernized in phases, right? So, but one thing need to be remembered that each successful completed modernization project itself establishes a full-scale cloud operating model, which can be followed for the further modernization, right? So that's way modernization happens, right? So that is something which it's about the modernization approach. We recommend you saw the similar approach for the migrations also, but how it is bit different from the migration. Let me highlight it by taking a deep dive into an example using a Microsoft application, right? So suppose there is a customer, right, who want to modernize their existing legacy Windows application and database. So how to three area or the three stages of the transformation which takes place once customer think to modernize Windows application and database. Obviously, the first area of the transformation is to move infrastructure from on-premise to the cloud environment, which simply refers as the lift and shift or reusing. It simply means that your application and database will get hosted on the cloud instances, or you can say the virtual machines. The advantage in this stage that there will not be such need to make any kind of the changes in the source code. So you can avoid it. Source code will not require to change at this stage. But there is one disadvantage that customer himself need to manage the instance configurations and patching, right? So both comes, right? So for every stage you will see there will be advantage, there will be some disadvantage. So how to take the advantage, right? It depends what is your requirement and what is the actual target or actual objective, right? So once your application or database, right, is in the cloud, right, then the second area of transformation comes into the picture. This area of the transformation is around replatforming your application and database to more automated and managed platform, right? So because I talk about the two things, application and database, right? So we need to discuss them separately, right? So if we talk about from the application perspective, it is moving from the virtual machines or cloud instances to the containers. Right? Basically, containerizing a application helps in developing, maintaining, and deploying application faster, as well as it increase the application portability. From database side, right, it is moving from the cloud instances, or we can say it is moving from the self-managed model to the managed database services like the AWS RDS or the Amazon Aurora, right? What is the advantage here? Once you move to the managed database service, there is no need to do regular activity like backup, patching, maintenance, etc. Right? So ultimately, it free up your resource to do more value add tasks rather than doing the repeated or the regular task to spend time on those tasks. So that is the advantage of this stage for both application as well as the database. Right? Now, third area of the transformation which comes into the picture, right, is to get rid of the licensing or is to move from the commercial softwares to the open source softwares, right? Everybody know, I believe you all know, right, that traditional commercial software vendors like Microsoft or Oracle built their business around licensing, and the licenses aim to lock in the customer and use punitive agreement terms to force customer to upgrade and migrate to their environment only. Right? So that's why refactoring your application to open source, right, uh, helps you to lower the overall cost, improve performance, as well as it provide you to it helps you to take advantage of the latest innovation happening in the open source market. Right? One thing which I would like to highlight here, right, when you use the commercial softwares and you compare it with the equivalent open source software, so it has been observed that fees of these commercial licenses typically add 20 to 50% cost on top of the equivalent open source option available in the market. So that's way it is a big advantage to refactor your applications, to get rid of the licensing cost, to take advantage of the latest innovation happening in the market. Now, these three areas of the transformation, which I described using the example of the Windows application and the SQL database, right, can happen progressively, or we can execute all the phases at once, right? It depends upon the organization's requirement and depends upon the application nature. Okay, now you all would have know about, right? There are larger number of options are available in the market to modernize your applications, right? I used to refer them different approach for modernization, or you can say different actions you can take to modernize your applications, database, or infrastructure. But think about a customer, right? Say the enterprise customer or a large customer who has a large state of the application, right? It is quite unlikely that the same approach can be followed to modernize every application, right? But our modernization strategy like this, that we support our customer irrespective the approach they choose to modernize their different applications, right? How we do it, right? I will try to give more detail using the example related to the application database and infrastructure. So let's take an example of the application. So if you have an application which is hosted on premise, it can be hosted first on the virtual machines or the cloud instances. You right? So so you will get the advantage of the cost at least. In the next step, say you can move your applications from the virtual machines to containers, right? So now you will get the advantage of the automated and managed platform, and you will not require to do regular activities. Further again, you can break, say, your .NET application to .NET Core and then can take advantage of the Linux platform, which avoid the Windows licensing cost, right? So these are different stages, different example. You can, right, modernize your applications based upon their nature and the state, right? If we will move further, right? So suppose you have the monolith application, then it can be re-architected or rewrite using the microservice architecture based application. So you can take the advantage of, say, the serverless architecture. So one way forward, right? So this is about the application. Say similarly, if we talk about the databases, right? So first of all, say if we have the on-premise database, then you can host these on-premise database to the Windows or Linux virtual machines. Then you can move your database to the managed database platforms like the Amazon RDS or say the Amazon Aurora. If you have the same multiple databases, you can create your data lake, right? And then can take advantage of the consolidated data to generate MIS and can take the better informed decisions based upon the information you have, right? And say if you have the relational database, which is the traditional way to use the database in legacy applications, you can refactor those kind of the database into the purpose-built database like the NoSQL database or say the document database or say the graph database. Similarly, if we talk about the infrastructure, so there is again, right, multiple way to modernize even the infrastructure component. So take an example, if you are using the Microsoft Active Directory, rather than using and managing it yourself, you can use the AWS managed Microsoft Active Directory to handle your Active Directory component where you will not require to do the regular task. Similarly, if you have your file system, it can be replaced with the FSX options being provided by the AWS, right? If you have the multiple licenses, then again, AWS provides a tool license manager, which helps you to manage your licenses, right? So these are the different ways, different options to handle, to modernize your applications, database, and infra components. Okay, so let's move forward, right? Okay, so how to do the application modernization with Navantic? Okay, so we discussed about the modernization. We discussed what is modern application modernization, why we should do, how we should do, what are the different options are available, right? But how we Navantic can help you for the modernization thing, right? So see, we used to develop scalable, secure cloud native applications using the agile methodology. And we have segregated our modernization offerings in 4 different sections or category. It starts from the application modernization, database modernization, data and analytic modernization as well, and infrastructure modernization. What kind of options we provide, right? So if I will talk about the infrastructure modernization, right? So one thing everyone understand this is about the migrating from the on-premise to the cloud environment, but this is not the migration of the simple application. We have the expertise to migrate complex applications like the ERP or the SAP applications, we also provide the Citrix VDI migration facility. And also we help our customers to establish DR sites. We also provide services around the cloud security offerings, because once you are in cloud, right, then security become a very critical thing, right? So we have this service for our customers where we provide the complete security posture assessment using in-house tools, right? And then provide the remediation and help customer to remediate the vulnerabilities. Okay, if I will talk about the application modernization, right, then we have the multiple offerings like to migrate .NET to modernize .NET applications to the .NET Core. So a customer can get the advantage of the Linux operating system and ultimately get rid of the Microsoft Windows licensing cost, right? We also help customer to get advantage of the Linux operating system without making significant change in the code, right? So this comes under the OS transformation where we help or we offer customers to host their applications to the Linux containers, right? Uh, there we have experience with customer where, say, specifically the enterprise customers have the legacy applications which are in the form of the monolith applications, and they are facing lot of problems, right, to do say new changes or to maintain them, right? In for such applications we provide offerings to modernize them into the microservice architecture, or say the distributed architecture, or say the event driven architecture based applications, so they can take advantage even of the serverless architecture. If I will talk about the database modernization offering, right, so we have all three important offerings which is required by any customer, right? Like the migration from the commercial database to the open source database, right? So customer can get rid of the Oracle and the MS SQL licensing cost, right? Second, we also help customer to refactor relational database systems to the NoSQL database, right? Or say any kind of purpose-built database. Third one, which is the basic, I think, the migrations, right, from the cloud instances or the virtual machines to the managed database service like the RDS or the Amazon Aurora, right? So there are different benefits of different offerings. I'm not highlighting benefits of the each offering because we have discussed about the benefits when we were discussing about the approaches for the modernization. Fourth offering, right, which is a very unique offering which we have, right? You will not find this offering with a lot of customers. This is about the data and the analytic offerings where we help our customers who have the multiple database to set up the data lakes, right? So this data can be used, right, for the real-time analytics. We also help our customer to migrate from Hadoop to Amazon EMR, right, which is the specific service of the AWS. It helps really to scale the application, or also helps to avoid the one point of failure, right? We also help our customer to modernize their databases using the Amazon Redshift. It helps them to set up a data warehouse capacity, which can automatically scale up as per the real-time load. So this is all about the offerings which we have, right? You can pick and choose a offering as per your requirement, state of your applications and database. And one thing I will like to highlight, as I mentioned earlier also, that these offerings, right, vary depending upon the state of your applications and your organizations. Oh, so this is the poll time, right? I think this is the second poll which we have. Hey, I need your support to launch this poll. Can you please?
Yes, Yogesh, the poll is up for everyone to answer.
Thank you.
Right, so we'll be giving everyone a few seconds to answer Our second question for the day: what type of modernization are you looking for? Our options are infrastructure modernization, application modernization, database modernization, and data and analytics modernization. Right now, Yogesh, we have 56% for infrastructure,
Great.
10% for application modernization, 18% for database modernization, and 9% for data and analytics modernization. Right, so let's give them a few more seconds to answer our poll for today.
Yeah, definitely we can wait for a few seconds, but based upon the responses which you are getting, right, I can say, right, it is the great response and as per the approach we discussed, right, because infrastructure modernization is something, right, which helps you to build the confidence, right, how, yeah, how can you take the advantage of the cloud and how can you further move with the modernization journey. So great thing, great. Let me know when we can move further.
Okay, so we encourage everyone who haven't answered our poll yet to please let us know your answers for this question. All right, Yogesh, I think we're closing the poll with 58% for infrastructure, 17% for application, 17% for database, and 8% for data and analytics modernization.
Great. Thank you everyone for providing your response. Let's move further. Okay, so we discussed about modernization, we discussed about our offering, right? I will like to discuss about few of our case study, the actual work we have done with our customers, right? So this is one of the case study around the application modernization. So we modernize application for our customer name as IFCO Bazaar. So IFCO is very popular name in the India and they are the major player in the agriculture sector, right? So they wanted to modernize their legacy application to take advantage. Basically, they wanted to modernize their legacy application to improve the performance, user experience, and to avoid the one point of failure, right? So we modernize their existing application using the distributed architecture approach. We separated their front end application layer from the back end application layer using the headless Magento and connected both front end and back end layers using the GraphQL APIs. And the advantage we got by doing and by implementing this approach that the application's speeds or the performance increase, it enhance the user experience as well, right? And it basically eliminates because we have the multiple components. So there is no such case, right? If there is a problem in one component, so entire application will shut down, right? So all three advantage we met using this approach. The another thing which we did, right? We also implemented the seamless payment gateway integration in this application. And why I am highlighting it here, because we talked about the user experience. So this implementation of the seamless payment gateway helps you just to make payment without redirecting to the payment gateway site. So that is all about the IFCO Bazaar modernization case, right? I have a couple more, right? Okay, so one more, the application modernization case, right? The customer name is the Dr. Lal Pathle, a very renowned name in the India. They have the pathology lab and they have the network across the country. They used to offer, I think, more than 800 diagnostic tests and other health related tests, right? So they had a legacy application and they wanted to modernize their applications to improve performance and the user experience. So what we did, right, we modernized their application using a couple of approach. First of all, because the application was the monolith application, so we re-architected and rewrite it using the microservice architecture based application. So application can be hosted using the serverless option, right? Second thing, the application was in the .NET. So when we rewrite, we use the .NET Core to take advantage of the Linux operating system and avoid the cost of the Windows licensing. right? Third thing we did, their database was already in the cloud, but they were hosted on the virtual machines or the cloud instance. So we moved those databases to the managed databases service, which is the Amazon RDS, right? So that's way we modernize each and every component of their legacy application and completely revamp into the modernized application. Okay. Another case study, right? This case study is around the big time migration, right? Panasonic is a very, very popular name. This is a Japanese organization and a global brand, right? I believe we start our engagement with the Panasonic a couple of years back, right? And at that point of the time, we modernized their first application. They are very particular, right, about the security. So we also developed a security framework for them. We are providing managed services as well. And I think when from the time we started the engagement with them, right, we have already modernized or migrated more than 400 VMs and the applications for Panasonic. Worldline, okay, another case study around application modernization. Worldline is a global leader, right? They are the you can say the uh, unique organization which offers the secure payments and the trusted transactions. Their customers are like the banks and the NBFCs across the world, right? So they used to provide the communication servers to their customers. I mean the banks and the NBFCs, right? So they had a legacy applications which works as the communication platform, but they were facing multiple challenges with that application, specifically about the scalability as well as the communications are happening properly or not, whether the say notification is getting delivered at time or whether notification is not getting delivered at all. In both the cases, what is the reason, right? So we re-architected the application using the microservice architecture, and then we used a specific AWS service known as the AWS Pinpoint. So what we did, actually, we built a middleware, right, using the serverless architecture, which can be used or can be integrated with any other components or any other application Wordline has, right? Because they have the multiple products and multiple application to support their customer base. So this is kind of the plug and play kind of the application. So they are using it. Another thing what we did to solve their problem about the notifications delivery, right? So we developed a web application again using the serverless architecture, right? So they can get the insight of all the communications being happen with the end user, whether they are getting delivered or not, right? Or if there is any problem, what is the problem, so they can take the appropriate actions. Currently, they are delivering, this application is actually delivering the 15 million SMS on the monthly basis, right? Okay, let's move further. Okay, so I think this is maybe the last case study which I have, right? So Dalmia is a well-known name again in India, right? So this case study is around the data analytic modernization, right? So they have the multiple source of the data like the ERP in the form of the SAP. They have the others line of business applications. So there were the multiple source of data. So what we did, we consolidate all the data and create the data lake and then help them to generate the MIS so they can get the insight and can take the appropriate decisions, right? One thing which I will like to highlight here, right? There is a specific reports. I talked about the MIS, so we developed multiple MIS report, but there was a specific report which was generating in 24 hours, right? More than 24 hours. So they used to get this report, right? T+1 time, right? So after the modernization, this report is getting generated in less than 30 minutes. So that is the advantage of the modernization, right? That's why I just highlighted, because once you modernize your application, it is not just about the change in the business logic, right? Business logic may remain intact, but this is about how can you get the advantage in terms of the scalability, high availability, performance, and user experience, which is more critical, right, from the business perspective. So yes, so it was the last case study, right? I think this is my last slide, right? This is about the clientele, right? So we have the multiple clouds. We got opportunity to work with clients in different industry and domains like the media and entertainment, financial services, manufacturing, retail logistics, or the healthcare and life science. You can see it few logo here on my slide. I would like to highlight a couple of logos, right? Panasonic I mentioned, right, which is Japanese organization and the global brand. They have the expertise in developing the appliances, right, for the electrical equipment as well as the auto industry, as well as the IoT devices or the innovative solutions, right? Times Group TOI is the largest media conglomerate in India. They publish Times of India English Daily. I believe this is the largest English publication across the world. Dalmia again is one of the client from the manufacturing industry. Dalmia, I believe, 80-year-old organization in India, and they a well-known, renowned name in the sectors like the cement, sugar, and the refinery. Canara HSBC, right, is a global client, right? Basically, this is the joint venture of the Hong Kong-based HSBC Bank and India-based Canara Bank. So we did the modernization product for them also, right? It deal with the life insurance and comes under the financial services category. From digital side, I would like to highlight the customer Payback, right? They are the global brand in the loyalty program, right? And they used to provide their services across the globe, right? So this is all about the clientele. As I mentioned that we got the opportunity and we are fortunate enough to work with esteemed customers. We have done some fantastic work for our customers, right? So we got few testimonials from our prestigious customers, esteemed customers, right? So we have one video testimonials and I will request Marine to play it for you, right? Marine, if can you play this video, right?
Sure. Hold on, let me just share my screen.
Sure, thank you. I am just stopping my screen.
Right, can everyone see my screen already?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Dr. Rahul Sewal, and I'm a founder and director of MyPain Limited, which is a health technology company based in the UK. And we provide state of the art, evidence based healthcare to people with long term pain conditions like back pain, neck pain, and headaches. Our company is very much reliant on the computer and the internet technology because we use it to gather the right data that helps healthcare professionals and patients make the right decisions and choices about their treatment. It helps patients make sense of their treatment, as describing pain and talking about pain is extremely challenging otherwise. And it also helps to educate patients as well as give them the right guidance whenever they need it, at their own convenience and at their own time, rather than having to wait for a hospital appointment. The key driver for application modernization for us was to have a cloud-based solution which is scalable, reliable, as well as very secure, and relatively easy to set up, maintain, and run, and is cost effective. We were already on AWS when we contacted Umbrella, and what they helped us was to remap our technology infrastructure, let us know what our requirements are, and also deliver it in a very timely and very efficient manner, and help us maintain that infrastructure. Our application modernization journey with Umbrella Infocare has been fantastic, to say the least. In terms of what they were providing, it matched and actually exceeded a lot of companies that were providing similar service for AWS infrastructure, either in the UK or Europe. or in other parts of India. And Umbrella and Infocare understood our requirements very well. The team liaised with us in a timely manner, and they delivered the project and our requirements absolutely on time and on budget, and have been very good in providing us with the necessary support over the last 2 to 3 years as we have been with them. Our future plans involve using the massive compute capacity that AWS infrastructure gives us, along with the automation and artificial intelligence tools, to further improve our processes and the science and the research that we can do and deliver for our patients. And we are really very fortunate to have Umbrella Infocare as our partner in delivering our product.
Great. Thanks, Marine. Thank you, everyone. So this is all about from my side, right? I think we can open the platform for question and answer.
Okay, so let me just share the Q&A slide. So if anyone has any questions throughout the session, now is the perfect time to raise them. You may unmute yourselves, or you may type your questions on the chat box. I encourage everyone to raise their questions while we have our esteemed speakers to guide you and clarify any situations you may be experiencing right now.
Hi, May.
Hi, John. Yes.
Yep, sorry. One of the attendees actually messaged me if we can get a copy of the presentation.
Yes, of course, we will be sending the recorded copy of the presentation after
Oh,
today's webinar.
thank you.
Okay, how about any other questions about Akanksha's discussion on migration or Yogesh's discussion on modernization? Again, guys, don't be shy to raise your questions on the chat box or unmute yourselves or raise your hand so we could give you time to raise it to our speakers for today. All right, I guess they're shy.
Yeah, I think they're
This
too shy
afternoon.
to to raise the question. But anyway, I think we can go ahead with the next step.
Okay, so if there won't be any questions, I will be reintroducing our Noventic BDM for AWS, John, for the next steps on what you guys can do after attending this webinar. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'll be sharing my screen. Yeah, there you go. So, yep, once again, thank you guys for attending this webinar for migration and modernization of your infrastructure or your application or your database and data and analytics. So, for our next step, actually, we would like to secure an appointment with you to discuss this webinar or these services with you guys, or you can actually contact your local account managers or your BDMs to book an appointment and discuss this migration and modernization services. So just to give you a quick recap of what happened during the webinar. Um, so we can provide you with the migration services. So first, of course, we have to assess your cloud readiness, and then we can plan your migration journey. And then, of course, we can migrate it and focus it with ease, and then transform it and optimize it. No? So for the guest here in the webinar, actually, we provide free assessment. So let us know if you still have servers or any other on-prem hardwares that you would like to migrate to cloud, or if you're planning or it's part of your roadmap to put it on the cloud, kindly let us know. We can assess it for you, and then we can provide you with services or suggestions or options on how to do it actually. Okay, and of course for the web service application modernization, like what you guys said, if ever still have the application on your on-prem and then you wanted to migrate it on cloud, you wanted to refactor it, or maybe just rehost it, we can do that for you. We can assess it for you as well. We can modernize it for you. Update the features or the versions, or maybe add some features as well, and we can do that for you. Okay. You can ask your local BDMs and account managers to help you with that, and we can what do you call this? We can introduce you to Umbrella Infocare for this for the projects that we have. Okay. That's it for me, May.
Thanks, John. So, as mentioned, if anyone is interested in taking the next steps with Novantic and Umbrella Into Care, do let us know by filling out the
I think there is a
feedback
question,
form.
Mirin. I think there is a question.
Okay, so let me just. Okay, so one of our attendees, that is asking, can you provide the free assessment for Azure customers if they are willing to migrate workloads to AWS?
I think that is from Cambodia. Yeah.
So, John, would you like to take this question?
Yep. Yes, we can do that actually. If you have like you wanted an option for your Azure environment, and you want to check it out if how it's gonna be with the AWS environment. Yep, we can totally help you on that. We can do free assessment, as well as if ever you wanted to do a TCO as well, we can do that as well. Yep. If that answer your question, Vat, yes, we can definitely do that for you.
Have you answered? Is John's answer to your question satisfactory?
Yep.
All right. So thank you, Vat, for that question. How about the others? Last call for questions and clarifications from our speakers, Yogesh, Akanksha, and John. Right. I guess we have a shy crowd this afternoon, this wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Okay. Well, there are no questions as of the moment.
Uh,
Let me just share my screen.
yep. May Karen actually provided the link if ever they have inquiries or questions on the chat room, so you can directly coordinate with those email addresses. If you're
Yes.
too
So if
shy to ask right now.
yes.
Okay.
So if everyone um, would like to partner with AWS, Roventic, and Umbrella Into Care, please let us know by filling out the feedback form flashed on your screens. And the link to the feedback form will also be provided on the chat box of MS Teams. Let me just highlight. All right. So on behalf of Noventic and Umbrella Invocare, I would like to thank each and every one of you who attended and took their time this afternoon to join us in our discussion on AWS migration and modernization. I'd like to take this time as well to reiterate the email addresses of each country present in today's session. So if you have any questions or inquiries that weren't raised as of the moment, you may email Philippines at noventic.com if you're from the Philippines, Malaysia at noventic.com for the Malaysia team, Vietnam at noventic.com for Vietnam attendees, Thailand at noventic.com for Thailand attendees, and Cambodia at noventic.com for Cambodia attendees. Thank you, Yogesh, John, and Akansha for sharing your insights on today's discussion.
Thanks, Vinny.
And we hope to see each and every one of you again in our future webinars for AWS. Again, this is Maylene from the Noventic Philippines, and we thank each and every one of you for joining. Have a happy Tuesday,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Have a safe day.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
I think we have someone raising their hand. Sam,
Yes, fam.
you may unmute your mic if you have a question. Sam?
I think he accidentally pressed the button, May. So
Okay, well, Sam, if you're shy to type, try to use the mic. You can type your question if you have any questions right now. All right, so thank you once again, John, Yogesh, and Hamsha. Special mention as well to Mega for making this webinar successful. Until our next webinar, everyone.
thank you.
Thanks, Feline. Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye bye.